And we're going to wait for one more button. And we are live, and we have a young entrepreneur here this morning who wants to help out with the greeting. Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. We know that's what's trending. And right now, trending, we got a little entrepreneur here herself. Good morning, everyone. This is AKA Naughty Boss and RaeRae with two. You want to help out? Two
Sisters. Hey, good morning, everyone. And a big, bright sunshine. Love and kisses to my little grandniece, Princess RaeRae, I call her. And she is great auntie's a little princess. And I just love her to pieces. She's just too damn cute. She also, by the way, shares a birthday with my husband. Although obviously we know that Uncle Gary is quite older than Princess RaeRae, but
yeah, they're actually how many years apart?
16.
60 years apart. So you're going to be 5 and Uncle Gary's going to be
65.
yeah.
holy smokes.
A big 6'5", right, sweetheart? Well, what would you like to say? You got to say good morning to everyone. What would you like to say this morning?
Good morning. Have a happy day, everyone.
Oh, that's so sweet. And what day is today? It's
Happy Veterans Day.
good girl. And we've got a lot of veterans in our family, from your great-great-great-grandfather to Poppy to your daddy. Yes, you can go now. Say bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
I love
Bye,
you too.
Princess RaeRae.
Yeah, so we want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day. And those are to all. Oops, we lost our lighting there. We got to fix that, but that's okay. I'm going to switch that over here. And we're going to turn it this way. I'm not in my normal office, as you can see. So things are a little kooky. And we don't need the lighting. What the heck? You know what? Today is Veterans Day, and we want to wish so many people that serve our country, both really from the domestic side, from the United States to abroad. We have many soldiers, men and women that are serving all over this great country and all over this great land that we live in this world globally. So, you know, it's a day to pause, to reflect, to really understand the value and the service, the call that these men and women have to serve our country, especially when you're in tumultuous times that we still are in with what's going on in our own country, you know, with really the world getting back on track to a post-COVID timeframe. Well, obviously, we know we're still in it, but we are definitely out of it. It has not been a pandemic since last June, my opinion, based on data and numbers. So, you know, we still have people that, you know, are serving and protecting our borders as best they can. We have people that are still serving abroad that are really still dealing with Afghanistan. So anyone that's still left there, my heart goes out to all of you, but know that, you know, our troops, you know, are going to do their best. And we're hoping that, you know, the government will be successful, or, you know, at least there's also private ex-military, meaning they're veterans, but they are willing to go to the call of duty, to not leave any man or woman left behind or child. So it's a different kind of feel, don't you think, for this Veterans Day, Jan?
I think it truly is, because I think our specifically the person at 1600 has completely forgotten those left behind. And I share the sentiments, I should say, that you know, our hearts and prayers are with the people that are still left in Afghanistan and their family and friends abroad who continue to pray and search for answers. And I would like to switch the conversation just a little bit, because I think this is really important to say too. I received a video this morning and I had to laugh. So that is a good thing. And I am not saying that in times of tumultuous times, sometimes funny things or comical things happen, and you just have to share it. I'm not going to say the person's name. However, he is a senator, and in many ways, I think he's very funny without even realizing it. But he was talking about the person occupying 1600 and naming all the things that have transpired this past year since that administration took office. And what he said in the ending, in my opinion, was priceless and made me laugh. He
I'm
said,
guessing that it was Senator. He's got the curly hair. He just talks right off the cuff. From the South, no?
I'll tell you it in just a moment, but what he said in the end, and I will send the clip through the Casella chit chat. Hopefully I'll be able to send it.
Or Texas.
He paused for a moment and he said, with all, and I'm obviously paraphrasing that, but with all due respect, he, referring to the person occupying 1600, has to really work hard on not sucking so bad.
Oh, I know. I got to take a guess who it is, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is because he frequently says off the cuff.
He's from Louisiana, and
Yes.
he is a senator. I was correct.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know.
Senator John. So I'll just leave it at that. And if anybody's interested, send me a private message or whatever, and I'll be happy to hopefully send you the video that I am referring to. But yes, back to Veterans Day.
We have a lot of veterans in our family.
We sure do.
We got great Poppy. We have Dad. My father-in-law served. My son-in-law served. Our brother-in-law, Hutchie. We're sending good vibes to Hutchie, who is battling some things right now. He's a veteran. Both of our brothers, Fran and Victor. Our cousin Ronnie was a colonel in the Army, and I think that's it that I could think of in the immediate family, but that's quite a few people.
It's
so
sure
we are a military family for sure.
It is. And I know that I've heard people say, especially with, what has transpired specifically in Afghanistan, I'm just going to say it because I know that's weighing heavy on everybody's hearts. These people the people that serve our country, men and women, do have a special call to duty. And what I've heard a little bit here and there, which in my opinion, was a little bit troublesome, I'm just going to come out and say that, is, well, they chose that line of work. They knew what they were doing. You know what? You're absolutely correct. However, there's a big however there. When the people at 1600 put you in such a harm's way where it shouldn't have turned out that way, I will just say, I have an issue with people saying that, well, that they chose that, blah, blah, blah.
They did, but they realized that actually, yes and no. I look at it from a different aspect. While they verbally, obviously enlisted, signed those paperwork, they physically took the action to serve. Not everyone receives that calling to make that decision. So that is the missing link that they're when they make a comment like that, they don't truly understand that not everyone gets that calling. Not everyone has that purpose. Not everyone is capable to endure knowing that they are serving the flag, they're serving the people, even in regard to how people spit on and burn our flag, even how people talk badly about them. Not everyone can handle that. And it does take a special calling. So while, yes, they physically take the action to make that decision, they didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to enlist. It's a process of a calling. Sometimes they see the signs. Sometimes they always know they want to serve. Others, they just, decide one day. And it's really, if you were actually to talk to military, some consciously chose it. Maybe it was a pathway to get to officers candidate school, college, whatever. But most will tell you that they just had this feeling. They wanted to serve. And that is what a calling is. You don't know why. It's an inner thing, kind of like an intuition, a gut feeling. Those are things that come from, I believe, in my opinion, from above, because not everyone's chosen to do that. Not everyone has the endurance. Not everyone has the mindset to actually put up with free speech, but they do that knowing that that's what they're fighting for. Not everyone can endure that. Just like officers and firefighters, not everyone is built mentally, physically, or has that calling to go into a burning building and pull people out and risk their lives. Not everyone is able, from a educational perspective, from a mindset perspective, to wear a pistol on them all the time and are always on call. Because those type of heroes, and that's what they are, those types of heroes are on call 24/7. They don't come home and put the briefcase away and tend to life. They don't go out without always looking, and being prepared for something to go wrong. Not everyone can do that, and I think that actually is kind of a coward statement for someone to say that, because that is not true. They do choose it, but they choose it by the will that was instilled in them from a greater force, a greater being, and that is a calling. Totally two different things. So I respectfully decline with those people, and I think, frankly, that's a coward statement.
And I have to agree with that. And obviously we know that there are people out there that would not agree with what we say or how we say it. And that's okay. And that's your free will to feel that way. And we always welcome. And I say that with all due respect and heartfelt, like I really mean that. We always appreciate the messages that we receive. And if you feel differently, why don't you go to our website and, leave us a voice message. And even if you do agree with us, leave us a voice message. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that topic. And speaking of topics, Trending Thursday, there's always something going on. And and what I've seen lately too is I was doing a lot of research yesterday, and the newest, I'm just going to talk about what's trending now is audio social media. Hot topic. Audio social media, for instance, Clubhouse. I've chatted about that before. There's also a new app called Wisdom, and people are gaining momentum in ways and are connecting. And for me, it really is a different type of atmosphere. People are excited to connect with people in real time all over the country. For instance, one club that I found that I actually try to listen in each morning for a little bit before the podcast is called Ever Mindful. And come to find out, excuse me, the gal who started that actually lives in East Hampton. So, right in Connecticut, which is amazing. And one of her partners, Cindy, is from Australia. So now, I'm kind of coaching them on some different things with certain things, with business stuff, which is pretty cool. And Cindy being in Australia, of course, we just had the time change. We're back 1 hour. So now, if we were ahead 1 hour, she would be 14 hours ahead, but now she's 15 hours ahead. So, I mean, how amazing is that? That you get to connect with people in real time. You feel the authenticity, you hear their voices, you hear their stories, and you're like, wow, so that's what's trending, what I see trending, and got a lot of great information yesterday. And on another social media platform, I told Carroll-Sue this the other day. I think it's kind of funny. Is it okay to say that? Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So our Twitter account has been suspended.
Do we appeal that?
You know, I looked at it and it was like, you got to do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I will probably look into that at some point. I'm just like,
And you know what? And it, and it really was, it was not tweets. It was just, I mean, it was obviously based on tweets. It was tweets that led to our podcast.
yes.
So am I to assume that that was the reason why? And we talk about everything that has to do with health and wellness. And yes, that's talking about current events, what's going on in our country. It impacts our stress level. It impacts our mindset. And we are sharing ways to navigate being authentically us, because we used to have those same struggles. Like, how do you, wake up and try to see the best of every single day, knowing, that gas prices are closing in at $3.50 nationally, when turkeys went up, I don't know what it was, over 50%. I think last year, actually it is over 50%, because last year a 16-pound turkey was $25.29. And now they're saying the 16-pound turkey is now $58.79. So yeah, that would be over, over a 50% swing. That's very high. To have an all-time high of inflation from 30 years, we're up to 6.2%. Last month we were 5 point something, I think 5.6. Now we're 6.2. That'll put some hair on your chest. That'll impact your mindset, and it's impacting our wallets. So of course that's going to add to the stress. And we are sharing our passion on ways to navigate through even the most difficult times, because we're sharing authentically how different things that we use to really kind of pivot away from that type of energy. And it's difficult. We agree with our audience, our listeners, our viewers. We receive those messages like, how do you impact this? How do you do that? And you just have to always, regardless of the situation that is like stuck in your face every single day, you always have to look for the blessings that are around you, because they're blessings. God is sending us many, many blessings. And I think at some point we push them aside because we're so engrossed with the other. A lot of them are just the daily blessings of waking up under simplistic things. You have a roof over your head. Okay, so maybe you don't eat turkey this particular Thanksgiving. Doesn't mean you can't make the sides. We know the price have gone up. The bag of potatoes has gone up.
You just muted yourself when you were talking.
But it is a call that I need to take. So I'm going to exit. But I want to, Jan's going to close this out, but I wish you all a great Trending Thursday. And you be the trendsetter and make sure that you're passing kindness on. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Jan. Got to run.
Okay. So another exciting feature that we want to talk about with Trending Thursday, of course, is censorship, right? There's so much of that going on. And at TwoSistas, we want to help our listeners and, of course, our viewers, if you happen to watch us on YouTube. We are, as you may know, we've started a blog on our website, www.TwoSistas.online. Excuse me. And yes, definitely view the blog there. It's amazing. So we are starting to offer packages where people can share what they're passionate about and kind of use our platform to, if you've ever wanted to blog about a different subject, maybe you're passionate about wellness like we are through fitness and nutrition and everything that happens in between. If you have a story, if you want to share something, let us know. Go to our website, www.TwoSistas.online, and leave us a voice message, or you can send us a contact form on there as well. Let us know that you're interested in hearing about sharing our blog platform, and we would love to hear from you. On that note, my name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and here we go. She's coming in again. So we're not signing off just yet. Let us know what you think about that. And she's back.
I'm back. How cool is that?
That is cool. That was quick. So I was just sharing with everyone, um, especially with censorship going on. You know, Two Sisters kind of takes these twists and turns, which is amazing. And we have involved in ways we have never imagined. So I was sharing with everyone that we are now offering specific packages to kind of specifically, you know, if you wanted to obviously be a guest, but if you wanted to blog about something, but you just weren't sure how to go about it, let us help you with that. There will be
Absolutely.
there will be no censorship. All we just ask, obviously there will be a fee for it. So, you know, contact us for more information. There will be no censorship. The only thing that we do ask is kind of keep the language as clean as possible. That's all, because sometimes younger viewers do view our information. And if you know, if there's a few F-bombs in there, I mean, who hasn't heard an F-bomb, right? So
Absolutely.
we are really excited about that. We have a lot of guests, potential guests registering on our website, which is exciting. And we have, gosh, kind of a new lineup coming with all of that. We also, excuse me, have our 350th coming up on Monday, November 29th. Also, next week on Wednesday, Sandy is coming back. She kind of helped me out the other day on Monday. Sandy Kern, Desire to Be Well, just came out with her amazing cookbook. And
Can't wait to get mine. I'm like chomping the bit.
yeah, and lots of great recipes in there. And I know that one specifically, I have been dying for macaroni and cheese. And obviously I've cut way back on dairy products and all that kind of stuff. And so I am so excited to make that recipe from her cookbook. Yes, it will be a different type of Thanksgiving. But you know, it's all good, and you know, we're excited about it. I already have a plan in action, and you know, I'm not the greatest of cooks. I don't entertain a lot at home. So my idea of making dinner is to make reservations.
Well, you're making reservations. Our house has a reservation for, I think, 20. I think we're up to 20 people.
Oh, wow. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's kind of, it's between 16 and 20. It keeps fluctuating. So it's somewhere in there. We will manage. I love to cook. And, you know, the cool thing about it, especially on Thanksgiving, you know, it is a time to gather, and everyone kind of shares, you know, their specialty recipe. So everyone pitches in. But a funny story, last year, our brother, Victor, I asked him, John was busy doing something else. And of course it was I always cook a very large turkey, and it was in the aluminum pan. And I think you were present. Were you?
Yeah.
Yes, you were present. Yeah. And, we asked Vic to take the bird out of the oven. And I warned him, I said, it's going to be juicy. It's very heavy. Maybe I could say, no, I get it. So he had the 2 oven mitts. But of course, between the weight of the turkey, because I'm one who stuffs the turkey, between that and the juices, however, he slipped, his hand slipped, he couldn't hold on to it. So all of a sudden, I still laugh when I think about it. The turkey fell to the floor. And because obviously it's, with butter and the juices, it slid down the tile floor. Like we all were like cracking up trying to chase this turkey while he's trying to fumble with the pan. So yeah, the good thing was that the floor was just clean, so it was no big deal. It was the funniest thing, and I wish we could have caught it on video. Yeah, but I want to say it was probably about a 20. I think I usually get about a 26-pound turkey. So if you can imagine this 26-pound turkey sliding down because I've got a long kitchen, just shh, and people trying to chase after it, along with helping Victor as the pan's overflowing. And we had a lot of grease on the floor, but as messy as it was, we had the best belly gut laughs. I mean, we were just dying. It was hysterical.
That was hysterical. And I remember it was like you're watching it, but you couldn't really do anything about it. And I was like,
Yeah, it was like slow motion.
like,
I still crack up, as you can see. And I apologize. Another health and wellness tip, and that's what that call had to do with, is remember, if you are somebody that, is out in the sun, to make sure that you are not focusing so much on the level of your sunscreen, meaning 40, 50, whatever. You want to look at the back of the ingredients, and you want a high level of oxide in it, because that is zinc oxide, because that is what's actually going to protect your skin. And the reason that call came in is my husband, about 2.5 years ago, he always has to check because it runs in his family, had melanoma in his back. So they removed that, everything was good. But they found another spot that it looks really funky. They have not said that's what it is, but they're leaning towards it's between basal and the other. So he's having something removed out of his arm today, and he had a question on his way to get the surgery. So I knew it was around the time frame that he was going in. So I apologize to our viewers, and we're sending him good vibes because he's strong-willed and he's very careful. But it's something where he's one of those people that is susceptible to that. And it's always good to make sure that you are scheduling your appointment with your dermatologist, making sure that if you got something that looks funny, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to go in there and they're going to say, oh, no, it's fine. It's, it's a mole, or it's this, or it's that. But don't wait on it. Always make sure. So he does a daily body check. I say daily. He does a daily body check on himself. We always check his back where, that's a hard area to look at. He checks mine. But he goes to the doctor, I believe it's every 6 months, and sometimes he goes 3, sometimes he goes 6, but he's susceptible. So you got to be proactive in your health and your wellness. And skin cancer can be a very serious thing and leads to other types of cancers. So you really want to make sure that you are proactive in making sure that you have that great communication. And don't ever feel bad. I think sometimes people feel bad, like they're impeding or bothering their doctor. Don't ever think that. That's what they're there for. And if you have someone that you trust, pick up the phone and call them and say, geez, I noticed something. It looks irregular. Nowadays, a lot of people do Zoom meetings. You can certainly do that if for some reason they can't get you in anyway, or you can't get in if you're away and you happen to notice it. But make sure that you are an advocate for yourself and your own health and care, because again, we are all about stretching our lives, longevity in the healthiest form that we can be. And that takes work. And it just takes making sure that we're mindful of everything that's going on in our lives.
it sure does. And, I just want to say in reference to that, a shout out to somebody who had the insight to, check in with me, because they know, obviously I cough a lot. And I have for years when I talk. There I go. But I'm so grateful that she was almost, I don't want to say afraid, but she wanted to bring it to my attention. So when somebody brings something like that to your attention, and I just want to give her, Leah, thank you so much for reaching out to me. And, it meant a lot when somebody does that. They're concerned enough about you to say something. And I did take appropriate action. My lungs are fine and all that kind of stuff. And interestingly enough, I don't know if I've shared this, but they think it may be either two things. The first thing they are thinking is, a lot of times when people have a dry cough, such as myself, it's usually related to GERD. A lot of people don't even know they have GERD. And one of the biggest symptoms is what I just did. I cough when I talk. And it's getting to the point, obviously for me, where it's very annoying because I do talk a lot. I'm on, different meetings. I'm on the podcast every morning. So I'm taking some medication for that. Went for a lot of blood work. And the other thing they think it may be, although they're not leaning toward that, is asthma. Asthma does run in our family. I think you said mom had it, and
Yeah, our brothers, yeah,
and Poppy had it as well. So
exactly. And funny thing, the trickle effect of her, she doesn't realize that, because there's always a trickle effect. When you mentioned it and I looked it up, it's also related to gastro issues. And I have been just recently diagnosed with that, as well as diverticulitis. And ironically, I started with a very similar cough, because it's also hereditary, a similar cough to what you're experiencing over the last 2 weeks. And John brought it to my attention. And I thought, oh, it's allergies or whatever. But I've noticed it. I'm like, wait a minute. Janis has the same darn cough. Tell me I have the same thing she has. So I have made an appointment, because I just had all these other tests done, but not the test for GERD. And even the name sounds kind of like, I don't know, it's got a funky sound to it. GERD.
yeah,
You got the GERD.
yeah. And when I think of GERD, I think of worms for whatever reason. So that's kind of weird.
I think of like either a pig or a cottage cheese. I don't know why. GERD, I don't know. But anywho, it's how our minds work. And see, I'm doing that kind of dry cough and I'm trying to suppress it. And I really have a new appreciation for what you're going through, because when you're on a podcast, you want to sound clear. You want to not have those interruptions. And I have been, there I go, struggling to kind of work through that to even get a sentence out sometimes. And I thought, geez, Jan's been dealing with that for such a long time. Not only is it annoying, but you really try hard not to. The other piece to that is hoarseness. And I suffer from hoarseness, vocal cords frequently. So what is GERD? It's actually the acid reflux that's in your gut, which obviously is already irritating your colon, your intestines. And what it is kind of like backsplash. It splashes up into your throat area and it causes this dry cough. So when I did more research on it, I thought, now that I've definitely been diagnosed with what GERD is related to, which is the gastritis, I thought there's a good possibility I also suffer from that, which is kind of strange. But I guess gastritis, which I did not realize, is hereditary as well. And I believe mommy probably had it and didn't know it. And I believe our grandmother, I should say, had it because she always complained about acid reflux. So I took your advice, because I
You just muted yourself.
come in because I can get back to that call. Anyways, I went and bought the over-the-counter medication. So because I knew I most likely I would prefer the prescription, I bought the generic version of Prilosec. And for those that suffer from that, this generic version of it, I liked it because it was a decent flavor, but it actually melts in your mouth. You don't need water to take with it. And it's every 24 hours. So it did say it would take 1 to 4 days to maybe see some improvement. So I'm going to see how that goes. But at least I have that until I make that follow-up appointment with the doctor to let her know this new information, because at the time we didn't really talk about my dry cough, because I really, it's only been going on for the last 2 weeks. So the fact that Leah told you, which got you to, thinking and make that appointment, that in turn led to somebody else. See, guys, that's the domino effect. That's what happens when things trickle down and we share information of different avenues and different things that we might not think about specifically related to ourselves. So you've got to understand that the power of word, the power of communication, the power of talking, that's what is trending, because people are learning from each other in such a great way to really advocate for our own health by sharing information and being authentically us about our own issues. Hey, we may be chatting and somebody may be listening to our podcast and say, I never thought about that. I have a dry cough, but I related it to maybe I have a wood burning stove. I related to it. I've got allergies. Maybe it's GERD. GERD the curd. I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with some little rhyme with that.
Right. And for those that don't know what GERD is, actually, that's the acronym, of course, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So GERD for short.
Oh, I see. I didn't even know that part. I mean, I knew it was what it was, but I didn't know that it was an acronym of that. Okay, so that's good to know. See, you always learn something on our podcast. Even we learn something from each other on our podcast. So, how cool is that? That's what's trending. Learn from each other. That's what's trending.
That is what's trending. And on that note, we want to thank all of you, as always, for being with us through the thick and the thin, and the good, bad, the indifferent. And yes, we share a lot of things, sometimes that are very, can be very sensitive in nature, for sure. But on that note, we want you to have a great Trending Thursday. And again, happy Veterans Day to our family and friends, our listeners and viewers. God bless America. My name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live. And I'm just so honored and blessed that our family is a contributing family to the military, and we want to wish all military families God bless. You are loved, you are appreciated, and we thank you. We thank you for helping to preserve our freedoms. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow for a fantabulous Friday.
Bye, everyone.